Okay.
Here it comes. Here.
Did you lose me?
I think we lost
I
you.
don't know
You're
why
still
not.
a ghost.
Wait. Well.
There he is, everyone.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god, it's Aaron Sagers, everyone!
Hi.
Great.
I feel like I
great,
should
great.
center myself slightly. Oh wait, I
Center
made that worse.
yourself.
Now you're centered. Aaron,
There you
that's right. Tonight, our guest is Aaron Sagers. You've been here twice already, I think. This is the third time,
Yeah.
right? You're here.
I think probably, and I've unofficially joined your chat a couple times, and and I know you've popped into some of mine's.
That's
So,
right.
That's right.
Including that, I think we're well past the 6 mark point.
Oh yeah.
And there is the mug again.
Is it the same mug?
Yeah.
I think so.
It is.
Yeah, I think so.
I normally try to switch up my mugs so that way people get to see different mugs, but I guess I was being lazy.
We only have so much time in the day, you know.
Oh yeah,
No.
to make mug choices.
I was gonna do my hair for you too, but now it's like crazy, so I went with that.
Well, we can introduce you, but you can also introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Like how shall we? Like if I would introduce you, I would call you the king of paranormal pop culture.
I would also. That's why it's right down there.
That's also
pretty
right.
good.
Yeah.
I do like that. That's very flattering. So yeah, go for it. I mean, I like this so far.
And last time we've also established that you're a tiki goth
Oh right.
or sunshine
Right,
goth.
yeah.
What was it?
I mean, I like tiki goth. I think we said sunshine goth. I mean, I am a tiki nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You get to label me whatever you want. It's your show.
Okay.
Well, where should we start?
Well, I think we should start with your new show that's coming up. Right? You're gonna be on Netflix.
Whoa.
I am going to be on Netflix. Yes. Well, so I forget when we spoke last time, but I guess the thumbnail of everything I'm doing is I'm still doing the Paranormal Caught on Camera show. That's on Travel Channel and Discovery Plus in the States, and that's currently airing its 5th season, and we're filming slowly our 6th season. And then I also launched this podcast and live stream show called Talking Strange with the Den of Geek Network, where it's a paranormal pop culture show. It's me talking to both actors as well as authors and folklorists and other podcasters. So all of that was happening. And then, yes, I filmed this show called 28 Days Haunted, and it is premiering globally on Netflix on October 21st. And it is the first paranormal investigative show on Netflix.
Oh.
I'm reluctant to say first paranormal show because there's been scripted paranormal shows, and then there was the Tyler Henry Medium show. So that kind of fits within the paranormal realm. But first paranormal investigative show on Netflix, and so it feels like a big deal because we're definitely branching out and doing something new for Netflix, and I gotta admit, it's pretty exciting because there's the potential to tap into, a massive global audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully people into this, but also attracting people that didn't realize they were into this stuff.
I feel like the mass media is waiting for the paranormal. I think it will go very well.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, you have very successful shows such as Midnight Club on Netflix as well, or The Haunting of Hill House, and that's also on Netflix. But even outside of Netflix, you have like the new Interview with the Vampire reboot, which
I haven't seen that
you have
yet.
Winchesters. You have all these. You have the popular show. It's both popular in the States and in the UK. Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
And so, sorry, that's New York City saying hello in the background if you heard that.
Oh, no.
And So the scripted realm is very much steeped in the paranormal stuff right now, but they haven't really embraced the reality or unscripted element of it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of, it's like they tiptoe right up to that line and then they pull back.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is the opportunity to expand that a little bit.
So what is your role in this show? What did they
I'm the
fly you
ghost.
in for? You're the ghost. So well, we found
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, here I am. It's my coming out day. It's me as a ghost. The
So brave.
I I know. Yeah. I was once like you, living, and now I am non-living. I am a host, and what that really means is, so sort of the format of this show is there are three paranormal investigative teams out there, and they are each situated at a different paranormal or supposedly haunted location. And they are embedded in those locations for 28 days, not just to catch a title.
Oh, okay. A long
And
time. All right.
yeah,
Ah,
long time.
right.
Okay.
And they are
S-
separated from the
slow,
outside world. They're
slow
cut off.
fashion, slow. What's like slow,
Slow burn,
slow hauntings.
slow hauntings.
Yeah.
And so they're there for, no, they're cut off from the outside world. They're not talking to their families or anything.
Oh.
And meanwhile, there's this control room, and that's where I come in. Myself, along with a gentleman by the name of Tony Spera, we're kind of monitoring this experiment. And the notion, the conceit is sort of slightly based on the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, but you don't really have to be a fan of Ed and Lorraine Warren to appreciate the idea that the longer you're in a location, the more it increases the likelihood or the possibility that you might encounter activity. And this
Saturated.
is something, yeah, yeah. And it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, that a lot of people, maybe they spend a couple hours in a location or maybe even a couple nights, but this is fairly unprecedented. And even more so is the fact that it's not just a month in these places, but it's three locations and three teams. So there's three very separate silos of experiences that can emerge from that.
So do you think that in this, I don't know if how far along the recordings of this you are, if you already started or if this already recorded, but maybe what I can imagine is that you can create some sort of a storyline there if it's over a longer period of time.
Yeah, so the entire show has been filmed. So when it drops on Netflix, you're getting 6 episodes of it.
Okay.
And so you're going to be watching all of it at once. The As far as the storylines, I think you're onto something. Well, I know you're onto something. That there are, and you know, normally I don't care about saying too much about a project I'm involved with, but Netflix is kind of a a big
Yeah.
machine, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be somewhat cautious.
Yeah.
I really don't want to violate my NDA too much. It's like Netflix and Disney are the two places
Don't do it.
that
Don't violate.
I've worked with that like I'm really aware of the NDAs. But there are three very different storylines, and the locations are, I would go so far as to say, pretty well-known locations from Denver, Colorado. Well known, I guess, to paranormal investigators. Denver, Colorado. There's Madison, North Carolina, and Connecticut. I forget the town in Connecticut. But so three very different types of locations, three very different types of storylines. And I would even go so far as to say, like, some involve more recent activity, like as in, I guess, a catalyst to activity.
Okay.
And some are quite old. And some involve, unfortunately, very violent acts. And some are more mysterious. So it's a grab bag of different kinds of stories happening.
And how are the people who go in there? Like what do they add to these stories?
Yeah,
If you
that's
can talk about this, I don't know.
no, I can talk about that. I think that, I mean, first off, the teams that are involved in these, they're being fairly public about the fact that they're involved. So on one location is a friend of mine named Shane Pittman. He's from the Holzer Files, the show that aired in the States and I guess elsewhere too. And so he's a buddy of mine, and he is on a team with a friend of his named Ray Causey, and they are joined by a medium named Amy. So there's a team of three in one location. That's in Colorado. And in North Carolina, it's two people, names of, I'm now forgetting last names, but Jeremy and Brandy. And Jeremy he's done some other shows such as The Ghost of Morgan City, I believe, and that he kind of presents himself as sort of a demonologist type.
Okay.
And Brandy is a medium. And then there's this third location in Connecticut, and it's a group, a guy by the name of Sean Austin, who does a lot of TikTok, and he's also done some other paranormal shows like Ghost Loop, I believe, and a gentleman by the name of Aaron Thompson, and then another gentleman named Nick, and those two are friends, Nick and Aaron. So then you have like three guys. So you have two guys and a woman, a guy and a woman, and then three guys. And as far as what else they bring to it, I mean, I think it's like they bring their sort of, my reference to the paranormal is you bring sort of like Yoda going into the Force cave in Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars reference, is that you bring with you what you take, and what do you take with you. So
yeah, I can imagine that this influences everything. Yeah.
Your experiences, your prejudices, your expectations, your preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And your strengths, your weaknesses,
your words to describe it.
Yeah, exactly. And it does get really interesting watching the evolution of the cases, because none of these investigators, to my knowledge, have spent this level of time in any location.
It's a
even
long
just
time.
Personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a residency.
It is a residency.
It is.
Yeah.
And it changes. I think it's fair to say it changes these people.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Was it hard to watch? Is it scary? Like, are there tough moments also for you, where it maybe feels immoral or unethical?
Unethical and immoral because I'm like a voyeur.
No, because maybe it's unpleasant, or people in there get scared, or you need them to be more afraid for the sake of the entertainment or something. Like it's a little bit like creating reality television also.
Well, I mean, it most certainly is reality television.
Yeah.
And so first off, I mean, these folks knew what they were signing up for. But even with that said, knowing what you're signing up for, or thinking you know what you're signing up for, and then actually living in a place for 28 days can get quite intense. And I'll also say that not all the places are equally comfortable. There's some that are very, very nice, and then at least one that's a little bit more difficult to live in. And so it's a mixed bag as far as that too. So I would say that I have empathy for the people while they're in there, because it does start to wear on them, just from a human level. I mean, just remove any paranormal element. Like, you get stir crazy, you miss your family and your friends, you're not online, you're not using social media.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, they get all these
you're totally cut off.
These get their addictions of daily life. They also play a part, probably. Like for the social media addictions, for example. Most of these people will probably also be influencers.
Some are more well known than others, and they are. I mean, I know that a couple of them are smokers, so they are able to go smoke.
Oh yeah.
So I think our producers allowed that. So
also those addictions, yeah.
Yeah, but so you feel for them in that way. As far as the activity itself, it does get pretty intense at times. And there are moments that watching this where I'm like, oh crap, okay, that I wasn't expecting that. And moments that they are getting freaked out and you almost wonder like, is this too much for these people? Is this
Yeah, is it too
has this
much of
gone
a
too far?
social experiment also having them recorded and being there for so long? But are you watching all three teams doing the thing at the same time from like a monitoring thing? Like it's all happening at the same time, or is it three different time periods that you're?
Yeah, we're getting a feed of the teams all at once.
Okay.
And I'm observing footage from everything happening all at once where we're checking in with the different teams. There are, of course, producers involved, and outside of the locations, there are producers as well. But the producers are not in the location. I mean, there's cameras wired in all of these locations. They are very much observed, but there are no camera people inside the house other than the investigators themselves carrying around their handhelds or whatever. But yes, so they are very much alone inside of there. And yeah, so yeah, you do feel for the people when they're experiencing some pretty intense activity. And again, the activity ranges. There's some that's a little bit more seems violent at times than others, and maybe even, without saying anything, like times where it appears almost targeted or targeting people. And so yeah, you almost wonder if you need to pull some people out.
Are you like a comfort to them? Like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's. I also wanted to ask something like, are you good cop or bad cop? Like, push it extra harder or be the nice one?
Well, I mean, that's more of a, am I a good cop or a bad cop? I mean, in life, that's a question that I should probably be asked. But I like to think maybe I'm great cop. I could be a little bit of good and bad. I'm Scorpio cop.
Okay. Birthday coming soon.
Yeah, that's right. But in the course of the show, I don't interact with the teams. I am like impartial observer. Well, impartial as far as I am not communicating with them.
So
okay.
Are there people communicating with them in this 28 days period at all? Ah, so
No,
it is different from reality television.
They are removed from everything. And they're, like they, obviously, if something really, safety wise were to present itself, we are aware of that, but I'm not communicating with them.
Oh, okay.
Do you communicate with them before and after? Is that like in the after edits?
Well, that's kind of more of a cheat because I have interacted with them as people. There's a couple that I know more than others.
Yeah.
But so the story machine is really that I'm brought in by Tony for my expertise and my research and theories and my historical background and journalistic perspective to come in there and observe this process. So I have not communicated with the teams as they're being embedded. I pretty much arrive and they are launched into this exercise and I'm watching as it unfolds.
Great. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to watch it.
Honestly, I'm jealous. Like, I would love to make...
I'm also jealous.
I'm jealous. I would love to make a paranormal show on Netflix, but I would have to say, if I would make a paranormal show, I would put a game element in there.
So yeah, and it's funny because people have wondered if there's like a bit of a Big Brother or game element, but not really. It's not like we give them challenges or anything. But I think I would probably watch that show too. I mean,
yeah,
I would probably watch that.
Yeah, like I mean, it's like, will they find the ghost and will they find love? Like, it's something like that. After 28
Well, the real
days,
love-
who is the real witch? Like, it would have to be, I don't know.
I think the real ghosts are the love we found along the way. I don't know. I know I'm a romantic.
But maybe it will
But-
come. I feel like also on Netflix, like you said before, this is the first paranormal show there in this shape. So maybe it will come. Maybe this is the link to popular culture even more.
I mean, I hope so. That's something that I think really intrigued me about this process, is that, again, kind of speaking to, here in the States, like, there's been other networks that have had paranormal shows, but for the most part, for the last several years, it has been dominated by Travel Channel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all the kind of corporate shuffling that's taken place throughout the years, and things that were one network that were ultimately gobbled up by another network. And on the Discovery Plus streaming service, you have all these Ghost Hunter episodes, and Ghost Hunter started out on the Sci-Fi Network and then went to Kesha, and then love Kesha, by the way, so pretty much it's been the Discovery Plus app and then Travel Channel for the last several years. And that's where all the paranormal programming has been. A&E tried to do it, and then it just didn't really catch on, and then they left again. We're talking about like last 5 years or so. And those shows, they can be quite popular, but they're still popular with kind of that narrow demographic and audience set.
Yeah, niche popular. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you're talking about Netflix, and 1% of the Netflix viewing or subscriber base decides to watch this because they're like, I like ghosts, but I don't
or
normally
maybe
watch
even
these
to
shows,
just
but why
cringe
not?
watch it. I think a lot of people also are in, like, with paranormal shows, most people don't believe in it, and they're watching it because they're like, look at them believing in ghosts, which is also a good motive, I think.
I'm also okay with that. Cringe watch, hate watch, I don't care, just watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't,
1% is
go
still
for it.
huge. Also.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly it. Is I think that there's a real opportunity to get this in front of so many more people, that as opposed to what the typical Travel Channel might be able to get. And that's not any disrespect to Travel Channel. Obviously, I'm also appearing on a show there, but it's just exciting that this could reach people in new places.
Do you feel that there's just this kind of paranormal kingdom of just people that exist that are just, that you enter the kingdom and everyone knows who you are and you know who everyone is in the paranormal kingdom, and that it's kind of a club or something, like a paranormal entertainment club?
Well, if it's a kingdom, then I can no longer be called the king, because I definitely
It's you!
don't feel like the king. I don't know about that. I mean, it's certainly like any work environment or any industry that you get to know a lot of the other people in it. And, there's some people that maybe it's taken longer for me to get to know than others because we just haven't been around one another. But I also think like everything, it is ultimately kind of a niche part of entertainment. Sort of.
Yeah.
There's people that, I think, like, look at Zach Bagans. Zach Bagans is someone that is legitimately famous, legitimately has broken through pop culture, that there's that awareness of Zach in other areas, other arenas, that even if maybe somebody doesn't automatically know his name, they recognize who Zach is. They get that he's
from the people who don't know the Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, exactly. So he is someone that has, when the show The Soup used to be on, Joel McHale would talk about Zach Bagans, things like that. So he's broken through.
Yeah.
But for a lot of stuff, I think that it's people that, if you're a fan of this world, you know who these people are, but maybe a lot of people on the outside don't. And and that's also just something I've learned interacting with actors and authors and other celebrities, is that there's all these little spheres, monkey spheres,
Mm-hmm.
where someone might be well known and famous in that little sphere, but outside of that, maybe folks don't know who they are. And I think all of that's okay. Like, you know, I know a couple guys who do some voiceover work on shows like Dragon Ball, and while walking down the street in New York City, maybe there'd be a couple people that would recognize them, and maybe a couple people would go unnoticed. When they're around their fans,
Mm.
they are
Mm-hmm.
swarmed. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
knows who they are, when they're in that sphere, So I think that's the same thing with like a K-pop star. They could
Yeah.
be maybe walking down New York City and a lot of
Yeah.
people might not recognize them, but they have a billion fans.
But I feel like
So
that's also a new kind of fandom that the internet brings, where also people on Twitch, like the biggest streamers on Twitch, maybe even their neighbors don't even know who they are. Like
yes,
they're not famous people at all outside of Twitch, even though on Twitch there's huge crazy fandoms. So
and I love that.
yeah, I also love that. Yeah.
And I also think I love it because it's great that everybody can have their fandoms and have their favorite people within those fandoms and celebrate those things equally. And it doesn't make any one fandom better than the other fandom. And it doesn't make anyone necessarily more famous than the other person. It's just like everybody has their different realms. And also I think it's a good reminder to never drink your own Kool-Aid and never buy your own hype. That anytime you start to think that maybe you're the famous guy in the room, remember that that person sitting across from you that you may not recognize is probably the person that's got a billion fans.
Oh no, it says our meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Wow.
That's
Wow, that's not my fault. Can't you extend that stuff?
Can't you?
I don't know. Maybe
Zoom?
10 minutes is enough. I don't know. That's
I have to upgrade to Zoom Pro.
no. Okay, that means we have 10 more minutes. All
Oh
right.
my god.
Okay.
So I actually have a question. Since
Okay.
we're talking about the paranormal ending up in not niche culture, but in like the mass culture, is it important? Would you say that it's important that there is a more a larger awareness of these kinds of topics? Because I think most people will probably think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, some people might. I don't know. I don't know about most, but I think there are some people that still think it's bullshit. But overall, I find that there's most people, without presenting myself as like, hey, I talk about the paranormal. When it just comes up organically, a lot of people are fascinated by it. I think it's
Yeah.
important.
That's also my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also by removing the religious and belief system connotations and connections to it. If you're just talking about spooky shit, people kind of are on board with it in a secular way. When you talk about, and I actually think that there's more of an embrace that's taking place for weirdness, and not just ghosts either, but just global weirdness. And but if people don't want to, I don't even know what I believe. I operate off of theories and ideas, and I've had weird experiences, but I don't say this is my belief or here's the rule book. I just am like, I don't know, this is a crazy thing that happened to me, and I think kind of this might be my theory based on it. But so I just say try to be open about it, try to communicate openly with people and receive what people are saying in an open way, but also push beyond your own worldview and experiences of I might be a straight white dude coming from a Western culture, Judeo-Christian upbringing, but that certainly is not the only kind of weirdness out there and not the only kind of story. So I do try to use my platform to expand the type of stories and put a spotlight on a diversity of cultures and other phenomena out there. And when you do that, I think you find connections with other people, and you also just expand the kinds of craziness out there, and you see how we're all kind of very similar with the folklore we tell.
Because we're all gonna die.
I also like what you're saying about cutting it loose. If I understood you correctly, from the religious
Kind of connotation.
association. I
Yeah.
like that, but still,
I,
also even in Ghost Adventures, I feel like they're still talking about demons a lot and how demons are bad and that you need to be with Jesus to to get these demons out of your house. So I feel like there's still a long journey for that.
so the thing with TV is that demons are still sexy. Okay, it's like when
Demons
I
are
do
so
my
sexy.
presentations, demons are very sexy.
They are.
When I do my presentations, I even throw up when I'm talking about the idea of what paranormal pop culture is. I'll throw up a meme because I talk about memes as like bite-sized pieces of pop culture, and I throw out the distracted boyfriend meme, and it's the girlfriend is the ghost, the boyfriend is the paranormal investigator, and he's distracted by demons. You know,
Yeah.
it's because we're all always attracted to the sex, but demons are sexy according to TV rules. You know,
Yeah.
now it's interesting though because we'll talk about demons, but not so much about strict religious belief. We kind of separate the Jesus-y part because you don't hear a lot of people talking about Jesus or Christian belief, just demons. Demons are bad and evil.
Yeah.
And because there's that separate element too. But that said, I would love it if people started talking about, all right, let's talk about real deal demon ideas and go back to Babylonian and Sumerian ideas about
That's what I
demons
want
as
to
like
see.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So,
like, what is a
but
demon? Let's dive into it. Yeah.
but I think overall, like, yeah, sure, there's still the TV element, and none of us are immune to it. It's something we all have to struggle with, and I try to choose my words carefully when talking about these things. But I think overall, people are willing to embrace a bigger picture.
Or at least
And nothing wrong with people who have religious beliefs.
At least like a
for the most part.
stimulation of what is what else is happening, what else is out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Do you have any audience questions? Is anybody saying?
Do we have any audience questions?
Do we have any audience questions?
I can't read.
They've been very well
I
behaved
read.
so far.
Some of them have, some of them haven't.
Oh. Well, that's okay. Well, I can't read. I can't see the comments from here, so because it's very tiny on my screen. But yeah, and it's okay if you're not well behaved. I don't care.
But when can we see the show?
October 21st.
Oh, 21st, October
Yes.
21st. So a
Yeah,
little bit before
globally.
Halloween. That's great.
What
Oh.
everyone
Yeah.
wants to know, what is the most frightening experience you've ever had?
Of course.
In 4-minute time.
4
4 minutes. Go.
Frightening.
Scariest experience
TikTok.
ever.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. Frightening. I know that about a year ago I was in a location that was, said to have weird activity, but not necessarily like a famously haunted place, and certainly not. I mean, basically, I saw what I could only describe as what looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings appear in a location, crawl towards me, and it was independently confirmed by the person sitting next to me that leapt up in the exact same moment that I did, saying, "Holy shit, there's something crawling towards us."
Oh, I got
And,
goosebumps.
And that was really super creepy. I can't explain it. The tendency is to try to call it demonic or evil or malevolent. I don't know if that's the case. All I know is that's what I saw. I also don't think just because something looks scary, it's necessarily trying to be scary.
Yeah.
That's maybe how I'm just interpreting it. But I don't know. It was freaky. That was a recent one. Maybe not the scariest, but there's probably some scary stuff from when I was younger that I'm still kind of processing.
What's the best description of demons in media you've seen? My money is on the Shin Megami Tensei video games. I don't know. That was very specific, Mr. Man.
Best description of demons
In media.
I don't know. I mean, I plug a book that I plug every time. I close to my bookshelf. I would grab it if I saw it right over there. Is the Dictionary of Demons by Michel Belanger.
Oh yeah.
It really breaks down kind of the concept of demons and goes beyond just the Judeo-Christian ethic of it. They're much older than that. What we call demons.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she's saying that they're great and fun, loving, but that they're not necessarily just good or bad. There are a lot of in between.
Yeah, we were reading about demons, and they're like really into gems.
And geometry.
Yeah.
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 I thought you meant like gyms, as in like guys named Jim.
No.
Or where they work out and.
They're somehow all into geometry, but these were also the demons from the 17th century, or the 16th century.
They're
So maybe
really
we've
gems.
progressed.
And like herbs and geometry.
Yeah. They had their gem phase.
All right, so any hot takes on the paranormal? Do you have any spicy
Hot
opinions? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that probably we're just scraping the surface. I think hopefully people are ready for something much weirder than what we've been serving up to them, and I hope that the entertainment industry starts to catch up and allows people to push a little bit further with what we serve up. I mean, it is something that I love about Paranormal Caught on Camera, because it can be a little goofy at times, but man, we talk about stuff from all over the world that otherwise people don't get to hear about on these shows, like different kinds of phenomena and folk stories.
Let's use more art with the paranormal. More art methods.
I would love that.
Great. It's a good combination.
We need to show up and do some wild art. We'll show up to your location.
I told you, I'm on board with doing something with you and incorporating Ghost Maiden somehow. We just have to figure it out.
Do you have any European trips anytime soon planned?
Yes. Actually, less than a minute left. Actually, yes. I am going to France. It's going to be more in the spring, but I'm doing a folklore and mystery tour through the south of France, where I'm going to be talking about the beasts of Gévaudan. I'm going to be talking about fae and witches, as well as ghosts, and going into a medieval castle and village. And if you follow my links online, you can check those out. In fact, can I just plug my shit real quick?
Do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
Talking Strange. That's the podcast and live stream show, the Den of Geek Network. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
We will do the rest. We'll do the rest. We'll do the rest. If I know the rest.
God damn, that's so stupid.
God damn. I didn't know that would happen.
Zoom has done different things.
That was Erin Sagers, everyone.
That was Erin Sagers.
It's our favorite paranormal pop culture daddy.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Damn.
Yeah, Den of Geek, I think. It's like
Den of Geek.
Den of Geek is a...
Den of Geek is on Twitch.
Oh, Twitch.
Yeah.
But it's more than that, right? It's
more
like
than that.
It's a platform.
Yeah, Talking Strange with Den of Geek. Den of Geek is their own platform, and then they do talks on Twitch, which I love to crash.
So, and everyone needs to watch this thing on Netflix. I forgot the name.
28 Days Haunted.
28 Days Haunted. 21st of October on Netflix, everyone.
And we posted more about Aaron in our Discord. You can find his links. He's all over the place once you start looking.
Oh man, I would love to have my own paranormal show.
Yeah.
I feel like if I just say it out loud, then it will happen one day.